Author's note. This video is my review of the Super Mario Bros. Movie, based on the Super Mario Bros. By Shigeru Miyamoto. The 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie was directed by Rocky Morton and Annabelle Jankel, published by Hollywood Pictures, Leitmotiv, Allied Filmmakers, and Synergy Pictures, starring Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, Samantha Mathis, Fisher Stevens, Richard Edson, Dana Kaminsky, Fiona Shaw, Mojo Nixon, Francesca B. Roberts, and Dennis Hopper as President Koopa. Rated PG. The 2023 Super Mario Bros. Movie was directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic, published by Universal Pictures, Illumination, and Nintendo, starring the voices of Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Anna Taylor-Joy, Keegan-Michael Key, Seth Rogen, Fred Armisen, Sebastian Maniscalco, Kevin Michael Richardson, Jessica DeCiso, Carrie Payton, Reno Romano, John DiMaggio, Eric Bauza, and Jack Black as King Bowser Koopa, featuring a special guest appearance by Charles Martinet. Rated PG.
This is crazy. We went under the river, but this can't be Manhattan. Where is this place?
I don't know. I ain't been to Manhattan in a couple of weeks.
Nothing can hurt us as long as we're together.
Early ago this year, Universal, Illumination, and Nintendo finally released the Super Mario Bros. Movie in theaters. To say that it was a success was a massive understatement. It went on to being one of the best-selling films in theaters for this year, grossing a whopping $1.362 billion in box office sales. Now that's something to write home about when it comes to the box office records. But we're not just talking about the 2023 movie, we're also talking about the heavily panned 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is loosely based off the Mario franchise. So, ladies and gentlemen, hang on to your plumber hats and let's go, because we're taking you down 2 Mario movies for this review. Also, apologies for the lower quality of this first film. None of the Blu-rays available are Region A or Region Free.
Yes!
For many fans, the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Movie was, and I say it again, loosely based off the Mario franchise in general. And in spite of being a critical and commercial failure, it developed a cult following that, in a way, gave it a new life prior to the animated Mario movie's release. 2 plumbing brothers named Mario and Luigi meet an archaeologist named Daisy who is making the discovery of a lifetime. But when the pair of humanoid dinosaurs pull Daisy into another dimension, Mario and Luigi follow her into an alternate world where dinosaurs have evolved into human-like species and a corrupt politician rules with an iron fist.
Luigi! Luigi!
I will say that for the third time indeed, it does play loosely on the source material of the Super Mario Bros. Franchise. Compared to that bright and beautiful world of Mario, this one is a dark and dreary dystopia that reminds me a bit of the 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. Many of the creatures, like the Goombas and especially Yoshi, are more based on the dinosaurs that it drew inspiration from. That being said, there is a part of me that wished it doubled down on the darker elements of the film. I'm sure the goofy parts were nice, but it wouldn't hurt to unleash some more dreary moments that I thought were stronger parts.
Strap your belt on, kid. We're going in.
The one thing I can definitely defend about this film is to take on Mario and Luigi. What I loved about Mario was the performance of the late Bob Hoskins, his more down-to-earth attitudes, his hard work ethic, and his brotherly love towards his brother Luigi. Speaking of which, Luigi is a far different character from his game counterparts, but where he does shine is that despite being naive, he's far more courageous and willing to leap into battle. A far cry from being the lovable coward that we all know.
Are you alright? Are they alright?
Right.
One surprise of this film was the addition of Daisy of all characters, who debuted in Super Mario Land for Game Boy. Back when I was a kid, I was expecting Princess Peach Toadstool to be in this film, not Princess Daisy of Sarasa Land. But much like everything else, Daisy has a far different backstory who never understood where she truly came from. One thing I do appreciate is Daisy is far more resourceful and doesn't take the damsel in distress status lying down. I also thought her interactions with Luigi were rather cute.
I'll kill that plumber!
Perhaps the biggest change in character comes from Koopa of all characters. While Bowser in the video game series was a hulking brute of a Koopa King, Koopa was more of a ruthless tycoon-like villain who chewed the scenery at every moment. He had an obsession with wanting to invade the human world and take every last bit of resource. He also treated his minions harshly, like his two dim-witted cousins Iggy and Spike, along with his so-called lover Lena. But I'll say, the late Dennis Hopper did put on a show with this villain, though why does this character also remind me of one whose name escapes me right now?
Put in a cartridge, click your heels together.
Surprisingly, there were two or rather three characters that did catch my attention. The first one being the Beavis and Butthead-like minions, Iggy and Spike. These two morons were entertaining to say the least when it came to their dim-wittedness and their constant bumbling. Even a boost in intelligence doesn't help their cause, but it does help the Marios out. The other character that deserves a shout out is Big Bertha. Despite being far different than her game counterparts, she packs a mean punch and turns out to be far more of an ally than an enemy to the plumbers. I'll have to say this, we need more of these characters in movies nowadays.
You gotta come with me, I need your help.
What's wrong?
I know the 1993 Super Mario Bros. Film is far different from the source material, and both Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper wrote it out, but it doesn't make it truly bad. If anything, it was a bit more enjoyable than I realized, and it was worth a watch just to see an alternate take on the two plumbers. On a side note, why the hell isn't this out on Blu-ray in North America? Nintendo, what are you waiting for? And now, ladies and gentlemen, here is the second Mario movie that we're going to talk about. Mario and Luigi, two plumbers with big dreams, discover a pipe that leads to a new world beyond Brooklyn. But when Luigi is taken to the Darklands and Mario is left in the Mushroom Kingdom, the heroic plumber must aid Princess Peach Toadstool in her fight against the King of the Koopas, Bowser. The Mushroom Kingdom and the lands beyond it are a beautiful masterpiece. There is a lot of detail put into the various landscapes throughout the movie. Even Mario and Luigi's hometown of Brooklyn looks like a gorgeous place to live in. In fact, not to knock on the games themselves, but the art direction is a step up from the best Mario game to come out, showcasing nearly every reference to Mario's legacy. My only complaint? It didn't need all those pop references in a Mario movie because Mario is a massive pop reference. But it's alright, I guess.
This is our chance! Destiny is calling!
While Mario carried a good portion of his character from the 1993 film, ironically, he fell more down on its luck alongside his brother Luigi, no thanks to a certain foreman Spike. And it gets worse when his brother gets taken captive by the Koopa King. Poor Luigi. But what makes this take on Mario fun is that he keeps on getting up when he falls down, even when he's at his worst. It's this kind of quality that, I'll say this, fits well like Bob Hoskins' take on the character. But hey, it's why Mario has always been a hero, why he's always been one of the main characters from Nintendo.
I'd never marry a monster.
As someone who has experienced the Super Mario Bros. Since the first NES game, I was aware that Princess Peach Toadstool was more of a damsel in distress back then. But I also liked the idea of Peach being more hands-on with her duties as ruler of the Mushroom Kingdom, where she's willing to stand up for her people against the might of Bowser Koopa, including the adorable Toad, who's a loyal companion. But it's her friendship with Mario that blooms brighter than the Fire Flower, showcasing the two working together in the toughest of times. And yes, even being kidnapped doesn't slow her down.
What they came here for! Dancing packs!
Donkey Kong was a rather surprising character that I didn't expect in this film, but compared to his previous counterparts, which includes the Donkey Kong Country animated series, the Banana Slammer Gorilla is more of an egotistical narcissist who's full of himself and doesn't take a loss very well. He served more as a rival to Mario, but ironically, seeing these two work together later in the movie was definitely a highlight for this big gorilla. That and seeing him use the Fire Flower power-up was a nice bonus. Maybe one day we'll see him face off against King K. Rool in a future Donkey Kong Country film. Nintendo, make it happen!
Love really makes a guy come out of his shell.
And yes, the biggest scene stealer of this movie is none other than King Bowser Koopa, and he steals it to a T. The biggest problem with this character wasn't his cruel nature, even to his Koopa Troopas, his obsession with Princess Peach Toadstool like with the song he played, or how he goes all out without even a bridge to knock him into lava. But the fact that he's just too damn entertaining, and you can thank the performance of Jack Black for this. If anything, Bowser was definitely a brutal legend on the big screen.
Too much. It's perfect. Wahoo!
I'm not sorry for giving this high marks, but the 2023 Super Mario Bros. Movie is a love letter to fans of the franchise that really brought out the best of these iconic characters. For anyone who's a fan of one of the legendary Nintendo franchises, do yourself a favor and check it out. And while you're at it, bring your paisanos for this special. It feels like the Mario franchise has always been in good hands with Nintendo since the debut of Donkey Kong in the arcades. 2023 is no exception, not just with the movie, but also with new classics like Super Mario Bros. Wonder and returning favorites like Super Mario RPG. It's not just about the tale itself or the gameplay, but it's more about the experience that allows many fans to return to Mario. And I'll also say this, not only is Mario still the most popular video game franchise ever, but it still has the power to rival even the likes of Mickey Mouse when it comes to pop culture. That being said, there are still plenty of surprises left for Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Donkey Kong, Bowser, and many other characters. And only time will tell what the future of Nintendo's biggest franchise will bring. Here's to the legend of the Super Mario Bros. May it last for decades to come.
One step, and then again, let's do the Mario all together now. Come on now.